Leinster Hurling Final is on, and already there's a switch in the Kilkenny attack. DJ Carey is now at full forward, PJ Delaney on the wing, as Offaly try to draw first blood as such, but they fail, thanks to Darren Hannafy. So DJ Carey, down at the other end, is now at the edge of the small rectangle. He'll be wearing number 10, operating at full forward. It was a move that was expected during the game, but not quite, maybe, at the very start. Brian Whelan getting his hurley in, and the second time round. Darren Hannafy coming out. Willie O'Connor now operating at left cornerback, in an effort, I think, to bolster the full back line that seemed to be exposed quite easily against Laois. It's Liam Keoghan. Coming across is Billy Dooley. Out to brother Johnny. An attempt at hooking him failed, and that's the second wide of the game for Offaly. Here at Croke Park, by the way, the wind is blowing in favour of Kilkenny in the first half, if only just about. It's a swirling breeze. Depends on which flag you look at. Sometimes it looks like it's favouring Offaly. But overall, a lovely day for the game of hurling. Race for possession here for Johnny Dooley. Goalkeeper comes out, and Stephen Byrne did very well. Good goalkeeping and confident play by the number 1. Goes back to Johnny Dooley. Michael Dignan is the man on the ground. Now he's up. There's a swoosh of hurleys as PJ Delaney gathers it. Martin Hannamy staying with him. Here's Dignan again, the number 9. The back heel flick. You'd expect to see in Lyon or Marseille, not in Croke Park. Canis Brennan seeking his first Leinster Championship medal. He's surrounded by players, however, who have achieved this very much in the past. McRae didn't like the chop on Niall Maloney, the chop down on the hurley there by Johnny Pilkington. So it's the first free for the Kilkenny Cats. This was wonderful goalkeeping by Stephen Byrne, because these are the ones that are difficult to save. It showed courage, bravery, and of course confidence. Well, as I mentioned earlier, during the week DJ Carey was putting from 15 feet. Now can he score from just inside the 45? Stephen Byrne had to be alert. Again, that's great goalkeeping, considering that this is his first Leinster final. Well pulled on by Brian McAvoy. Into the space. Slipper probably, no it won't, it's on the line. It seemingly went off the Kilkenny boot, and that is a good decision by the linesman. Younger brother of Brian Whelan. This is Barry. Pressure all round as Kilkenny come again. Maloney trying to get it in towards DJ Carey. Second time round, Colin Cassidy pulls in it. For some holding there on Johnny Dooley. It's going to be a free for the faithful county. And if you've just joined us, I can also tell you some news from the West. Roscommon 1-8, Sligo 7 points, and that's at half-time. So that's the Connacht Senior Football Championship semi-final replay. Roscommon 1-8, Sligo 7 points, half-time. Meanwhile, in Croke Park, still no score. 4 minutes gone, just over 4 minutes, in fact. Charlie Carter. One inside is Maloney. Great effort by Charlie. DJ is at the end of it, and so too is again Stephen Byrne. He certainly is producing the goods between the posts. Looking very solid as they test him out again. This time, Stephen Byrne is equal to it once more. That ball sent in by Pete Barry. Man who is playing in his first Leinster Final is doing very well between the posts. And remember, Offaly have yet to concede a goal in this Leinster Championship. Brian Wheelahan, Charlie Carter in pursuit. First to the ball again as Kilkenny tried to put the pressure on the Offaly boys early in this match. Great block down. Superb by Kevin Martin. Cleared by Michael Dignan. Up towards Willie O'Connor and Darren Hannafy. Coming through is John Troy. He faces Dermody. Goal number 1 by the maestro from Lasma in County Offaly, John Troy. It was perfect. It was the first real test for the Kilkenny defence, and they failed miserably. The ball broke kindly for Troy, but when you ask him to finish in these sort of situations, then you know who's going to win. So now, that's the score after just 6 minutes of play. Brian Wheelahan once more. Michael Dignan battling with Pete Barry. Comes towards Brian McAvoy. Barry Wheelahan underneath it. 2 Kilkenny forwards chasing after him. Here's Kevin Keenan. Gets it inside to Charlie Carter. Offaly defence exposed. Charlie! The sides are level. Within the space of 24 seconds. Kilkenny rejoice. What John Troy can do at one end. You ask, who could finish here? Charlie Carter can. This could well be a rip-roaring Leinster hurling final. Great finish by Carter. The sides level. Yet again. And I was just beginning to complain that after 4.5 minutes, there was no score in this match. Great puck out by Stephen Byrne. And I know I mentioned it earlier that Offaly hadn't conceded a goal. Let me just note for you that that is, in fact, the very first time that the green flag has been raised in Offaly this season, at least this championship season. Nice play by Michael Dignan. Getting away from Brian McAvoy. Good ball over towards the corner, where John Ryan has moved to try and open the space. Here's Dignan again. Pete Barry hooking him nicely. It's there for somebody. Billy Dooley knocking it back to brother Joe. Intercepted well by Canis Brennan. It was Brian McAvoy that finished the clearance. Picked up nicely by Colm Cassidy from Kilcormac. Killoughey giving it to Johnny Pilkington, and that is just sailing to the right and wide. Offaly's 4th wide of the match. This was wonderful finishing by Charlie Carter, and Stephen Byrne this time had no hope. Brian Wheelahan's anticipation, as always, at its finest when it comes to Leinster Championship. Canis Brennan, well kept in by Niall Maloney, who's operating over at the far side. Ball for DJ Carey and Kevin Keenan. Keenan, the man who just replaced Hubert Rigney, did well there. Kevin Martin pulling in a first time, getting it inside to Charlie Carter. DJ is gone, so too is Colm Cassidy. This is Cassidy. Ball back to markers Michael Dignan. Kevin Martin has all the time in the world. He misuses it considerably. Pete Barry to PJ Delaney. Comes down to Brian Wheelahan once more. Over towards Liam Keown, far side with Johnny Dooley. That's his clearance in despite close marking. Knocked away, and that's going to be an Offaly ball, despite the protests of Johnny Dooley, Kilkenny. Referee just wants some of the players to move the sufficient distance. Breaking ball falls with Joe Dooley. Chasing after him is Michael Kavanagh. Joe Dermody is underneath this, drops Clearance in. That is it, second time round. It's a good clearance in, but it's a little bit too strong. Sideline ball for Offaly. Kevin Martin with the sideline cut. Quite a good one. Willie O'Connor there to help out his fullback, Pat O'Neill. Down towards Niall Maloney, operating as the left-half forward. Charlie Carter can't reach it. Here comes Martin Hannamy. Back to his very best against Wexford in the semi-final. Pete Barry and Joe Dooley, robbed by brother Billy. Trying to swing that ball in towards John Ryan. Ryan did well to make a little bit of space for himself. Pat O'Neill, blocked down by Darren Hannafy. John Ryan goes out to gather it. Gives it to a man who can score from there, but not this time, Joe Dooley. And they increase their tally to 5 wides. Joe Dermody, Kilkenny #1. Himself and James McGarry from Bennett's Bridge battled it out during the league. And Joe Dermody just shaded the tussle. Here's PJ Delaney. Great block down by Michael Dyke. Pulled on first time by John Troy. John Ryan again. Pat O'Neill, one hand, now with 2 hands. The hurley being held, and that's going to be a free for the Cats. Always you can be guaranteed with Pat O'Neill whenever he plays, be it club hurling or inter-county hurling, he gives it everything. Charlie Carter trying to knock it away from Barry Wheelahan. Colm Cassidy down towards Darren Hannafy. Linesman indicates it's a Kilkenny ball. Judging by that flag over the far side, I can now safely say the wind favours Offaly in this first half. Willie O'Connor with the sideline cut. Barry Wheelahan just flicking it away out towards his brother Brian. Johnny Pilkington there for Offaly, so too is his midfield partner Michael Dignan. Back to Colm Cassidy. Over towards Darren Hannafy, who has the inches on Willie O'Connor. Referee Dickie Murphy doesn't like the challenge by John Troy, and just explaining why. Didn't book him or didn't take his name, just explained. Top scorer for Offaly in the championship with 2-13. Make that 3-13 now, of course, with that goal earlier on, as Pat O'Neill takes the free. A fine lengthy one it is. Barry Wheelahan underneath it, his hurley was held, and that is a free out for Offaly. From Kilcormac, Killahy, great club indeed in Offaly. They've really dominated the underage scene. This particular man has won 3 minor and 4 under-21 club championships. A club I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of in time at senior level. Canis Brennan. Johnny Pilkington had the vision to see that Colm Cassidy was going inside, and that is just to the left and right. And despite that wind advantage, Offaly have had many easy chances, not really availing them, only having 1 shot on target. That's John Troy. 6 wides now for Offaly. Brian Wheelahan getting a hurley to it. Michael Dignan spraying it across over to Johnny Pilkington. Liam Keown comes onto it. Dispossessed. Johnny Dooley going back there. Barry Wheelahan, that's a great pull along the ground. Up towards Joe Dooley, battling here with Michael Kavanagh. Billy Larkin, head down, doesn't get very far. Michael Dignan floats one in towards John Ryan. Well blocked down by Pat O'Neill. Willie O'Connor is back there to do all the tidying up, which I think was Kevin Fennelly's tactic when the team was selected. Martin Hannamy driving it in long again towards Billy Dooley. Underneath it with Tom Hickey, captain of Kilkenny this afternoon, from Dunnamaggin, the club that beat Young Ireland's of Gordon in last year's Kilkenny County Final. It is, however, a line ball for Offaly. Johnny Pilkington. Superb, Pat O'Neill. And the traditional full-back role, grabbing the ball in the air. There's more pressure going to bear on this Kilkenny defence. Johnny Dooley twists and turns, and then sends a shot straight over the bar. His first point of this match, and Offaly's second. Interestingly, Johnny Dooley is now at right corner forward, with Willie O'Connor marking him. And that was a well-taken score. TJ Carey flicking it on. Oh, lovely play by Johnny Dooley. Charlie Carter, Kevin Martin with him. And there's the equaliser. Well, it's an amazing game, really. The 4 scores on the scoreboard have all been scored within a minute of each other. Once Offaly do it, Kilkenny respond. This was lovely intuition here by Dooley, feeding Charlie Carter, who had the confidence to take on Kevin Martin. Down at the other end is Tom Hickey, that's coming, tearing out of his defence, trying to find Philly Larkin. I was always going to say Ken Larkin there. That's, of course, Philly's dad, Barry Wheelahan. Plenty of time to try and get it down towards Johnny Pilkington. Just hit it that little bit too hard. Kilkenny men looking on seem to be reasonably happy with the way things are going so far. Charlie Carter is easily the most dangerous forward so far for Kilkenny. Not a good sideline cut by Philly Larkin, easily read by Michael Dignan. Good play by Canis Brennan. Back to Phil Larkin. Well pulled on by Brian McAvoy. Johnny Dooley. Just to kick it ahead, Barry Wheelahan is there. Still Johnny Dooley and Brian Wheelahan. Kevin Martin taking his eye off it. Comes straight to Brian McAvoy. Great block down by Kevin Martin. Considering the ball had fooled him, his confidence didn't decrease in any way. That's a good ball, but it's Pat O'Neill that's ahead of John Ryan. Good play by the Kilkenny number 3. Clearance not a good one, however, in terms of giving it to a colleague. Billy Dooley battling with Tom Hickey, trying to swing a hurl, and it hits the post, comes down towards Johnny Dooley. Thought about a first-time shot, blocked by Willie O'Connor, gets inside. Great defending by Kilkenny. Back outside and Pat O'Neill intercepts. What a wonderful piece of defending, though, by Kilkenny. Because when that ball came off the post, Johnny Dooley swung as if he was going to do it in the air first time. Thought about just there, then decided against it, twisted and turned, blocked by Willie, and eventually cleared by Kilkenny. Kevin Martin with the sideline cut. Knocked away by Joe Dooley. John Troy comes out to gather it. Nicely picked up by Michael Dignan. He too sends it wide. 7 wides for Offaly in this first half. In comparison, Kilkenny have yet to register, if I can describe it like that, a single wide. So Dooley had a belt in the ear there, still feeling it. Martin Hannamy, Brian Wheelahan, John oh, lovely hurling. Blocked by his own man, I think, Joe Dooley there. A lovely strike of the ball. Referee has blown his whistle for a foul on John Ryan by Pat O'Neill. And that's going to be surely an easy opportunity for Johnny Dooley. John Troy, in fact, is going to take this free. Normally it's Johnny Dooley that stands over these sort of chances. And John Troy taps it over the bar. A goal and a point for John Troy, a goal and 2 for Offaly. 2 happy Offaly players, Offaly men, Offaly players. I'm sure they'd like to be playing. PJ Delaney into the space. Keith Barry, Brian McAvoy. Don't think he knew that Charlie Carter was going to be there, but it's still a very good ball, and Carter sends it over the bar. Charlie Carter is a major problem for Offaly. That's a goal and 2 points for Charlie. It was a great ball by Brian McAvoy. Carter ran out. Perfect ball for a corner forward, really. And once more, amazingly, Kilkenny equalise within the minute of an Offaly score. Here's John Troy. Here's another point for Offaly. Troy and Carter now have a goal and 2 points each. So can we now expect within the next 60 seconds, are we being too daring to suggest that Charlie Carter will now respond? Joe Darmody's puck out. Kevin Martin knocking it away. Comes back towards Brian McAvoy. Great pull and a wonderful catch by Brian Wheelahan. Sending it very quickly down towards John Ryan. And what about that for football and hurling capabilities? And his pass was not a good one. The referee has in fact given a free to Phil Larkin for that foul. This is a wonderful catch by John Ryan rather. And certainly Tommy Lyons, his football manager, would be happy with that. Here's Pat O'Neill. Up towards Johnny Dooley. Charlie Carter. Swinging it right across the face of the goal. Kevin Martin is coming out here first for Offaly, confronted by Brian McAvoy. Ball runs on. 3 Kilkenny players there now. Tom Hickey. Oh, great hook by Joe Dooley. Up towards John Ryan, who is getting there ahead of Pat O'Neill. Now willing to face into him, and a wonderful block down by Pat O'Neill. It runs kindly for Johnny Pilkington. Much more difficult angle, but he sends it wide. This is wonderful play here. As Joe Dooley, it looked like a hopeless situation. What about that for great skill? Just hooking the right half back. Martin Hannamy. Can he have it once more? PJ Delaney. They've failed the minute test at this stage. They were doing well up to now, but PJ Delaney, maybe he should have given it to Charlie Carter. And that, in fact, PJ, I hate to tell you, is Kilkenny's first wide. 10 minutes left now in this first half. Johnny Dooley swinging this ball in, and once again sending it wide. The shooting has been terrible, really, for Offaly, not to put a tooth in it, because really they've had their chances, and sometimes, yes, he's getting the words to cool matters down, and he knows it. But to be honest, it's Offaly that should be further ahead, very much further ahead than just 1 point. A little push on Johnny Dooley. Kilkenny goes unnoticed. This is dangerous for Offaly. Kevin Keenan on his knees, and somehow he manages to scramble it out. Billy Larkin beats Johnny Pilkington. Brian McAvoy. And that is now Kilkenny's second wide.
Right, if you're having a run, have a lash.
I'm sure you heard that. Is Kevin Finnelly telling Brian McAvoy, if you have it, have a lash. And Kilkenny have it again. Johnny Dooley of Kilkenny showing some nice touches. Down to the main scorer in chief, Charlie Carter. Barry Wheelahan still with him. Charlie with his left hand again finds the target. Well, he was about a minute behind John Troy, but they're level now for the 4th time. But Charlie Carter is doing so well at left corner forward. And Charlie Carter is the only man to have scored so far for Kilkenny. And yet Offaly haven't made any alteration in that full back line. Canis Brennan under pressure down at the far end. Nipping in Michael Dignan, but he slips as he was about to hit it. Billy Larkin does well here. Spraying it over towards this side, but it's going to hop and hop over the sideline. And now Offaly perhaps thinking about an alteration. Babs Keating with Podge Mulher in the middle. They're just pointing his finger at Pat McLaughlin nearest the camera. Ball comes down towards John Ryan. And Joe Dermody sees it going to the side netting. And the moans and groans you hear around Croke Park are coming from as far away as Lusma and Burr, because their shooting is quite appalling, while they do have a problem in the full back line. And as you can see from Joe Dermody's jersey, the breeze is quite strong now as he takes this puck out. Johnny Dooley, I must say, he's showing some nice touches, the centre forward. Serious eye injury deprived him of a chance to play in the earlier championship matches. Here's Charlie again, backing with Barry Wheelahan. That's a line ball for Offaly. Seems that Johnny Pilkington has now gone wing forward, and Darren Hennepy is operating around midfield. Just a change by Babs Keating there. Over towards John Ryan. Just pops that ball away, and it comes towards Liam Keown. He's nicely dispossessed by Johnny Pilkington. Back to Darren Hennepy. Ball into the space. Balls all the way back to Joe Dermody. Pat O'Neill wanted it quickly from Joe. Ball delivered and clearance, sent down. Kevin Martin. DJ Carey trying to block him down. Over towards Niall Maloney. Sending this one in again towards Charlie Carter. DJ Carey coming in on the blind side, picked up by Barry Wheelahan. Nice skill, blocked by DJ. Barry Wheelahan is there. Not quite sitting on it, but almost. And that's going to be a throw ball. And that's the first time since the game started that, apart from the free, that we've seen DJ Carey. Just a half an hour now gone. in this match. Charlie Carter is there again, unable to stop it going over the sideline. Line ball for Offaly. And Troy. Trying always to do what most ordinary mortals wouldn't even attempt. Joe Dooley battling hard, scooping it up. Nice play to brother Johnny. Tom Hickey. It's a good clearance. Down towards Kevin Keenahan. Oh, wonderful Kevin Keenahan. Considering he just came on for Hubert Rigney, that's a great catch. Kevin Martin did well to keep it in. Comes to Brian McAvoy. Another testing missile for Kevin Keenahan. Drops this time for Brian Wheelahan. And again, good clearance over towards Darren Hannafy. Billy Larkin. Turns nicely, given a little bit of space, and Stephen Byrne is alert. Whipping it right back up and pulled on first time by Johnny Pilkington. Joe Dooley now seems to be in a full forward on Pat O'Neill. Down towards Willie O'Connor. Martin Hannamy chasing PJ Delaney. Wherever PJ goes, Martin goes. Johnny Dooley running through the centre. Brian McAvoy giving it inside to DJ Carey. Trying to get away from Kevin Keenahan. His hurley was held. Referee says play on. It comes to Charlie Carter. Half blocked down. Stephen Burns will be there. And Byrne does well, as per usual. Joe Dooley. Some of the crowd not liking the fact that it seemed that DJ was fouled. Nicely flicked on meanwhile to John Troy. And that is over the bar. John Troy now has a goal and 3 points. Johnny Dooley being the only other scorer for Offaly. It was Joe Dooley's hard work here. Billy Dooley somehow managed to flick it out to John Troy. And as always, he knows where the posts are. Niall Maloney seemed to have been pulling that hurley rather dangerously. It's that sort of a game. Nobody really happy, just very anxious and tense. Spectators not really enjoying matters, just watching every puck, every shot. Just over 2 minutes left as this ball drops in, and again it's a wide. And Offaly's tally of wides now has reached 11. Breakdown comes to Darren Hannafy. Stopped by Canis Brennan. Didn't quite connect. Kilkenny still have it in the shape of Brian McAvoy. This is a testing one for Barry Whelan and Charlie Carter. And great defending again by Brian Whelan. Michael Dignan knocking it down for Kevin Martin. And that's a gift to Michael Kavanagh. Martin Hannamy underneath it. Niall Maloney leaving it behind him to Hannamy again. To right half-back Colm Cassidy. Under 21 again next year, Colm Cassidy. A very versatile player. And I think this is going to be a throw ball, has to be. Philip Larkin. Comes back towards Peter Barry. Billy Larkin. Charlie Carter and Barry Whelan. Comes down to DJ Carey. Oh, a wonderful piece of defending by Barry Whelan. Superb. I'm sure we'll see that in the replay in a moment. Meanwhile, we'll continue on. Brian McAvoy sending it back to DJ. Gets inside almost Kevin Keenahan. Back to Niall Maloney. There's danger looming here for Offaly. Maloney can't grab it first time, and it's gone out over the end line. But surely here was an opportunity for Kilkenny. And Barry Whelan, who's not having a brilliant game, a solid game, despite at times being exposed by Charlie Carter. What about that for top-class cornerback play? And Barry Whelan's defending means that Offaly go in at half-time, leading by just 1 point. But we've had two wonderful goals in the space of a minute. The first was knocked down by Darren Hannafy into the path of John Troy, and he gave Joe Dermody no chance whatsoever. And what John Troy can do, Charlie can do at the other end. Here's Charlie Carter beating Stephen Burns.
1 goal, 11 points.
But at half-time at Croke Park, it's a most intriguing Leinster final. But Offaly lead, having played with the breeze.
1 point advantage going into the wind.
It's doubtful if it's going to be good enough. We had the all-day advantage in hurling, we didn't take it.
And can we expect a more fired-up Offaly for the second half?
Hopefully they will. And Babs is after giving them a good lecture, and hopefully they'll do better than they done the first half.
So we'll see if Babs Keating's pep talk at half-time will have done the miracle for Offaly, and they'll play a lot better. Mind you, they have been the dominant side. Here comes Canis Brennan. John Troy in hot pursuit. Pass for Philly Larkin, which was poor to say the least. Johnny Pilkington. Philly Larkin. Goes back to Philly almost again. Telling DJ Carey to leave it. Good work here by John Ryan. Bats it out towards Johnny Pilkington. Sends it low towards Billy Dooley, who is fouled by Willie O'Connor. And the first free of the second half goes to the faithful County. John Troy, ready with a goal and 3 points to his credit in the first half. Adds a point at the start of the second. Make it a goal and 4 points for the Lusma Star. Yes, he feels that it's going to be their day. It's still a long way off that final whistle. Wind assisted. Joe Dermody's puck out is a lengthy one. Barry Whelan, nice pick on by Charlie Carter. PJ Delaney, who's starting this second half as he was selected at full forward. But the first wide of the game, of the second half that is, falls to Johnny Dooley of Kilkenny. It looks like Joe Everty is being warmed up. Now he can play full forward or full back or anywhere else there's a problem. The captain of Bar could be introduced within a matter of minutes to this Leinster final. Taking the sideline ball is Michael Kavanagh. He was the minor full-back last year. Now wing-back on the senior team. Johnny Pilkington. Billy Larkin slips at inopportune time. John Troy looking to see if anybody was available, but he misjudged that. And John Troy, above all else, knows that. So Joe Everty is the man that's being introduced by Offaly, and it's Barry Whelan that's gone off. So the change that we were anticipating has happened. But Barry Whelan should not be disappointed. He had a wonderful block down just on the stroke of half-time, and he is, no doubt about it, a star for the future. We have it again. Oh, wonderful fielding by Canis Brennan. Sending it back up, the goalkeeper Stephen Byrne shouts and gathers. Good play, Martin Hannafy. Good play again, use of the hand pass effective. Brian Whelan, and it gets them out of trouble. 4 hand passes. We're now at midfield. Michael Dignan, low to John Ryan. Nice turn away from Pat O'Neill for the first time. Still Ryan bursting his way forward. He needs help. It's there. It's still there. And Joe Dermody stops it. I thought for a moment he was going in behind him. Heart attack moments if you're from Kilkenny. Kicked away. Comes down towards Darren Hannafy. One of the heroes for Burr in the All-Ireland Club Final. Scored 1-3 against Sarsfields. Testing one for the Kilkenny defence. And Joe Dermody is there again. That's a great clearance by the goalkeeper. Down towards Niall Maloney. Knocked away, Johnny Dooley. And his hand pass was not good, but as they say, fair dues to him. He followed it up, but he wasn't destined to be a good shot or a good movement. That ball gone wide. Here was a chance from John Ryan. Billy Dooley and Joe Dermody. It just went behind him, and Dermody did well. Here's Brian McAvoy. Tearing away from Michael Dignan and Kevin Martin. Knocked away by Kevin Keenahan. He's played very well at full-back. They must have been practicing the hand pass with Babs, because they're using it quite effectively. And John Troy has picked up what I think is more an accident than anything else, but that doesn't in any way take from the pain inflicted on John Troy. This is a full-time score. Roscommon 113, Sligo 15 points. So it's a Roscommon-Galway Connacht football final. And the man that's coming on is Andy Comerford, and going off is Johnny Dooley. This is the incident with John Troy again, as the hurley came across John Troy's mouth, and that was painful to say the least. So Andy Comerford is on, and Johnny Dooley is the man that's gone off, in fact. Meanwhile, Kilkenny cleared their lines. Down towards Peter Barry. The testing one for the Offaly defence, and passing the examination with first-class honours, Kevin Keenahan. Clearance not a good one though. Comes back again, and that signals wide. But what a great catch by Kevin Keenahan. He deserved a little bit of good fortune that Peter Barry bestowed on him, because his clearance was not good and Barry's shot went wide. But what about this? Great fielding. Here it comes, dropping into that left hand. Superb. I can also tell you that the All-Ireland Féile Pelnanog final in Donegal was won by Ballybowden St Enda's by 6-4 to Balahi of Derry's 1-3. Great festival of football in Donegal. In Croke Park, Offaly lead by 2. Andy Comerford taking too many steps with the ball. It's a free to Offaly. Now Babs, testing time for his defence. He's made the alteration that was required, while Kevin Fennelly is also making, I think he was actually trying to encourage his forwards to move around a little bit at the other end as that ball is sent in. Johnny Dooley under pressure. Billy Larkin following in the great footsteps of his dad Fan and his grandfather Paddy. And between them won 9 All-Irelands, as that ball is sent over the bar by Charlie Carter. A goal and 4 points for Charlie Carter, a goal and 4 points for John Troy, the 2 stars of this year's Leinster Final. Lovely skill here, lovely balance, turned around, made an angle under no great pressure. Ball breaks down. Billy Dooley with Willie O'Connor. The chance here perhaps for Darren Hannafy. Great defending this time by Kilkenny. Pete Barry broke that toe, in fact, in the throw-in the match against Laois, but he's performing well at midfield. Also performing well is Martin Hannamy and Brian Wheelahan. Johnny Pilkington just taking his eye off it. Here's Billy Larkin again. Sending it in towards Niall Maloney and Charlie Carter. There's trouble on the way. Here's Charlie. Sending it into PJ Delaney if he can reach it, and Stephen Byrne did exceptionally well because he just put a little bit of pressure on PJ Delaney and diverted his attention by coming out. But Charlie is sending shivers down the backs and spines of every Offaly man, and Stephen Byrne just put PJ Delaney off. Fine puck out again, gathered by Joe Dooley. John Troy available. Kenneth Brennan wasn't standing around enjoying the scenery. Michael Dignan, Joe Dooley, it's anybody's really. This is rather messy, to say the least, and here comes John Troy. His vision can lead them to the promised land. Did I say something about vision there just a moment ago? Michael Kavanagh. It is not impressive hurling, this patch. Tom Hickey is fouled, and that is a free out to Kilkenny. Young man who plays his college's hurling with the University of Limerick. Has played Fitzgibbon Cup with them, with distinction. Pat O'Neill. Driving it long again. Down towards Andy Comerford. Kevin Martin, DJ Carey. Quiet for most of the game, but here comes DJ. Immediately 3 Offaly lads swarm around him. He drives the ball very much wide. An unusual effort by DJ Carey. This is DJ. There was Martin Hannamy, Kevin Martin, and of course Kevin Keenan watching. Brian Whelan was there as well, and into the side netting. Still plenty to fight for. Just 1 point between the teams in a very low-scoring Leinster hurling final. But if you want wides, I can tell you that Kilkenny have 9, and Offaly still remain on 11. Break. Falls for Philly Larkin. Back up. Niall Maloney's hat is gone. Cleared by the Offaly defence. Comes back to DJ Carey. Has to come out around the midfield area to try and gather possession. And here goes DJ. The referee accuses DJ of taking too many steps with the ball. And the Kilkenny crowd in Croke Park make their feelings known. Let's look at this again as DJ Carey threw the ball down here, then had to gather it in his hand. Here he goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I think Dickie Murphy is correct. The verdict is unanimous. John Troy. Well, at least that decision has livened up the crowd here at Croke Park. Cleared down the field by Brian McAvoy. Down towards Andy Comerford. Chased, pursued by Brian Wheelahan. Comerford once again goes the scenic route to make an angle, but he knows exactly what he was doing. The passion of Kilkenny has been aroused. The sides are level for the 5th time. Lovely piece of action here by Andy Comerford, and a very useful substitute to say the least. Nicely gathered by Darren Hannafy. A lovely slick pass to Joe Dooley. Waiting for this Billy Dooley. A chance, and Joe Dermody, and the shot is saved on the line by the captain of Kilkenny. Tom Hickey has rescued his side literally on the goal line. It was a lovely flick pass to Dooley. Dooley to Dooley. Here comes a goal, says everybody from Offaly, but not Tom Hickey from Dunamangan. John Troy is again going to take the 65. Sides level, remember. Just over 13 minutes gone now in the second half. Troy scoops it almost over Joe Dermody's crossbar. And John Troy now leads the scoring stakes ahead of Charlie Carter by 1 point, 1-5 to 1-4. Another powwow along the sideline, another brief consultation. What can we do now to ensure that we beat Kevin Fennelly and the boys? The question will be answered shortly, I'm sure. Andy Comerford loses his footing as that ball dropped down. Joe Erity hand passes out to Johnny Pilkington. Darren Hannafy did well to beat Liam Keown and Philly Larkin. Over towards Johnny Dooley, operating at top of the left, taking again too many steps, and I think you will again see that Dickie Murphy is perfectly correct, and it's a free out to Kilkenny. This is the incident again that Joe Dermody will thank his captain for. Billy Dooley, Dermody did everything he could possibly do, and right on the line. Great defending by the captain. Pat O'Neill didn't see that Andy Comerford there, number 17, had made a run out to the wing. Kevin Keenan is again the man in possession. Now he has to do something with it. He takes too many steps. Martin Hannamy knows that he did wrong, and that is a free for Kilkenny. Stephen Byrne gets his fellow defenders to mind the goal line. It's DJ Carey that's going to take it. And there's always the possibility here that DJ will go for goal. And do you ever get the feeling that this is one of these moments? He's standing over it as if he's going for the goal. DJ blasts it into the back of the Offaly net. He may have been quiet, he may have been almost unnoticed, but there is never a game that the DJ Carey doesn't surface in terms of scoring or indeed style. Kilkenny lead for the first time. Let's go straight down to the sideline.
And almost as a response to that, Offaly are going to introduce a substitute. That's Podge Mulhare coming in for Billy Dooley.
So Podge Mulhare is in, but let's just watch. I just got the sense that DJ was going to go for it here, and he did. Those extra couple of meters that DJ takes just seems to give him so much power. So Podge Mulhare is in, and Paddy Mulhare is in. Podge Mulhare, of course, is his father. Paddy Mulhare is in. John Troy has now gone to the corner, and Billy Dooley is the man that's gone off. Here come Offaly again. Sideline ball for Offaly, says the linesman. Michael Dignan will gladly take it. So Joe Dooley. It's a nice strike. Can anybody get on the end of it? Hannes Brennan is there. Nice turn, good defending. Flicked away by Martin Hannamy. Brian Wheelahan and Andy Comerford. Comerford trying to use his strength. And the linesman and indeed the referee both agree it's a free for Offaly. Brian Wheelahan taking the free this time. Paddy Mulhare surrounded by Kilkenny defenders. They can smell victory now, they can taste it down in Kilkenny. Here's a chance for Johnny Dooley, and that's a lovely piece of skill by Johnny Dooley. That's his second point of the match. But talk about economy. This was the most economic use of a sliotar you're likely to see. Didn't mess around, just stroked it beautifully. Puck out is a lengthy one again. While Maloney at the end of it. He's lost the hurley. He hasn't lost his foot by any stretch of the imagination, but he sends it wide. Kilkenny mentors thinking about further moves, I can tell you that Joe Dooley is still on the wing, but Johnny Dooley is operating as a roving wing forward from midfielder at the moment. Here's John Troy now getting into picture here, corner forward. Billy Larkin. As both teams make alterations. Willie O'Connor. Nice play. Pete Barry. Up towards Charlie Carter, knocked away. Here's Andy Comerford, and there's plenty of green grass in front of him. Good defending by Offaly once more. Brian Wheelahan, who was glad to get the help of Kevin Martin in that challenge on Andy Comerford. Johnny Pilkington sending it in towards John Ryan, leaves it run on. Goalkeeper Joe Darmody is out. And goes through the mill and gets a good clearance in. Back to Brian Wheelahan. Sends it quickly back. Canis Brennan. Two number 6s playing a game all to themselves. That's a far better ball from Brennan because it finds Niall Maloney in a dangerous position, who has the confidence to try from there for his first point in the Leinster final. And Kilkenny now in the driving seat. This was a good point from a very difficult angle. Kevin Martin. Kilkenny 2-6, Offaly 1-7. That's the scoreboard as we have 20 minutes, over 20 minutes gone now in this second half. A chance for Charlie Carter to shine once more. 1 goal and 5 points for the young Ireland star. And every time the ball has come down to his corner, be it Barry Wheelahan or Joe Erity, Charlie Carter is causing problems. Canis Brennan. Pete Barry. Niall Maloney. Leaving a run on. Charlie gets it here. Niall Maloney was gone inside. Andy Comerford wants it this side. But well read again by Brian Wheelahan. Down towards his right half back, Colm Cassidy. Offaly's play just a little bit ragged now as Kilkenny try to reflect their superiority out the field with more scores. Brian McAvoy again sends it wide, which means now they're level in terms of wides at least. 11 for Offaly, 11 for Kilkenny. I think the shot that you got there of John Troy from our camera behind the goal was John Troy looking up at the clock, trying to estimate how much was left. Referee has blown his whistle, and I think from way back he's going to give that free. In fact, he's going to give it from where the ball landed, which is perfectly correct. And it's DJ Carey that's coming up to take this one. DJ Carey's goal separating the sides at the moment. And this time, my guess is he'll put it over the bar, judging by the stats. And again he goes for the goal. And again, is it in? The umpire signals. Well, DJ Carey can only be described as a genius, because like me, I think the Offaly defence anticipated by him amazingly. He had the cheek, the audacity to try for a goal from here. 5 Offaly defenders. He went for it low, it crept in just centimetres over the end line, and that is a goal. DJ changing this match all alone almost, and the Offaly defence now, in terms of their confidence, psychologically affected, surely. They have been the masters of this game. They had 11 wides, I think, in the first half, and they are now trailing by 2 goals. And there's more pressure. Kevin Keenahan beaten for pace by Charlie Carter. Sending it back in, and this going to the right and wide. Well, just keep an eye on the umpire. The umpire is Paddy Siggins, and he had no doubt whatsoever to raise the green flag. This is Ken O'Shea, goal scorer against Laois in the semi-final, and he's coming on for PJ Delaney. So the number 14 is going off, number 18 is on. Offaly now, their character, their ability tested. Willie O'Connor. And off camera and off the ball, there's a little argy-bargy going on as that ball is sent wide. And the incident was going on between Joe Dooley and Colm Cassidy, and that matter has now been sorted out. Meanwhile, the facts are Kilkenny lead by 2 goals, and there are just about 9 minutes left in this match. Well, much has been written and said about DJ Carey, but even on a quiet afternoon, he still will grab the headlines along with his clubmate Charlie Carter tomorrow if Kilkenny win this title. Carter, the star, Carey, the finisher. Here's Charlie, making an angle, now looks for a little bit of support. It's a poor ball and well cut out. Brian Wheelahan. Johnny Dooley coming for it. Half blocked by Canis Brennan, and Joe Dermody can't reach it in time and concedes the 65. I don't think Canis is too happy with the referee's decision, but it is the correct one. Kevin Fennelly and Dick O'Neill have another brief consultation. It's Liam Keown, the left half back, as he watches Brian Wheelahan take this 65. Perhaps happy to just tap it over the bar. That's Brian Wheelahan's first point of the game. And there's now 5 points between the teams. For a game that really never sparkled in terms of a Leinster final that we were anticipating, it has plenty to talk about this evening and tomorrow, and it's not over yet. Philly Larkin, great catch. Nice skill. Oh, lovely. Stepping aside, Johnny Pilkington, and that's gone wide. Puck out landing short this time. Comes to Pete Barry, who wanted a little bit of support from Michael Kavanagh. Martin Hannamy without the helmet. Ken O'Shea, blocked down by Michael Dignan. Looking for somebody to make himself available. Joe Dooley does. Down towards John Troy, knocked away by the tenacious Willie O'Connor. Philly Larkin over towards DJ Carey. Now with 2 goals to his credit. Here comes DJ, nice floating ball, thank you very much. DJ is alive and well. And 2 goals and a point to his credit. The game of hurling would have suffered a huge loss if DJ hadn't regained his appetite, because when he's hurling, he really is something to watch. Offaly have possession again. Liam Keown does well. Willie O'Connor. Kevin Martin. Things not coming right for Offaly now at the moment. To his right half back, Colm Cassidy. DJ Carey about to tackle. Darren Hannafy with a very valuable point. Offaly are by no means panicking. That's the scoreline, 3-8 to 1-9. Just about 7 minutes left now in this match. A game that's going to many parts of the world. New York, Chicago, Boston, where I know Kieran McDermott and Niamh McDermott are watching this game. And I'm sure that they're enjoying this Leinster hurling final now. But can Kilkenny hold on? Offaly, the masters above all else of fighting to the final whistle. Who will forget the Leinster semi-final? Johnny Pilkington taking off, getting away from Philly Larkin and Canis Brennan, going for the score, dropping it in low. Joe Dooley is there, nice little backward flick, lovely. Will it work? The referee blows his whistle for a foul on Paddy Mulhare as John Ryan and Pat O'Neill, it is in fact, square up to each other. Their spirit above all else in the county of Offaly. Now, it's dead straight in front of the goals. Can Johnny Dooley do a DJ Carey? Or will he be happy again to go for the point? Dooley. Kilkenny defence trying to marshal their lines. Willie O'Connor interrupts, and a very good tactic by Kilkenny, because they have now upset Johnny Dooley's concentration, I'm sure, as they introduce Michael Phelan, the man who failed a groin test. Here's Johnny Dooley meanwhile, going for the goal, hits it, saved wonderfully by the Kilkenny defence and out for a 65. But a very good tactical move by Kevin Fennelly, bringing off Niall Maloney just before Johnny Dooley took this shot. It was well saved along the line and deflected out for a 65. Canis Brennan is in trouble here as he limps out to try and get near Paddy Mulhare. Here's a chance for Offaly, and that's gone over the bar. And I think that was Paddy Mulhare that actually got the final shot. They're closer, but there is still a goal required. 4 points in roughly about 4 minutes. Less than 4 minutes. Runs all the way through. Michael Phelan just introduced. Charlie Carter. Goal and 5 points. Quite a tally. Here's a dangerous ball, and it hops agonisingly away from DJ Carey over the end line. This was close, as the goalkeeper came out and it literally hopped in the small rectangle. Babs Keating. There's one thing for sure, all of his teams have character and spirit. Offaly's tested now. Johnny Pilkington, shot half blocked down. Good defending by the Kilkenny captain Tom Hickey. Back to Canis Brennan, gets in his clearance despite the efforts of Michael Dignan. Comes down towards Andy Comerford, all alone inside, and here it comes, is Charlie. He knows Stephen Byrne is coming out to meet him. Here's the icing, and it's off the crossbar. The O'Keefe Trophy almost had the Kilkenny colours wrapped around it, because that would surely have ensured victory. Liam Keown tapping it forward to Andy Comerford. This is all fine for Kilkenny now. They're in the driving seat. They'll hold possession as Brian McAvoy sends that over the crossbar for his first point of this Leinster final. Five points between the teams now. Charlie Carter had the opportunity of the Leinster final. Stephen Byrne had a chance and he wrapped it up against the crossbar. Here's Michael Dignan. Kevin Martin. Kilkenny will be happy if they continue to hand pass that ball around there. It's a poor ball. There's nobody in there except a Kilkenny man, Liam Keown. Gets in his clearance. Philly Larkin is available in the centre. Good clearance. using that ball effectively. Ken O'Shea. Good defending by Offaly. Michael Phelan lends a little bit of physical support and presence. Phelan from a difficult angle. Oh, that's a great point. There's a fight on for places down by the River Nore. Ken O'Shea a substitute, Michael Phelan a substitute. They worked hard for Phelan's point. This was a well-taken score from quite a difficult angle. It looks now as if the bonfires can be lit in Kilkenny. It's the first Leinster final since 1993, our first Leinster title, although Offaly have now just responded. But I think at this stage, a point is too little. Darren Hannafy scoring his second point. Five points between them. That ball drops down towards John Ryan. Pat O'Neill. It's behind you, lads. Volleyball here nips in. And that's going to be full-time whistle. It's the 56th title for Kilkenny. Wonderful play by Charlie Carter and this man, DJ Carey. We anticipated the first one. We did not anticipate the second one because it looked as if he was going to be happy with a point, but it just rolled over the line. DJ Carey, master craftsman, meets a wonderful hurler, Kevin Keenan, and consoles him on this Leinster final defeat. But no doubt about it, Kilkenny's second half display was quite masterful at times, without ever reaching the heights that one would expect of Kilkenny. But Charlie Carter, the Goran twins, they really are a deadly duo when they do both perform. Today, DJ was rather quiet. Charlie was the star overall in terms of hurling, but they'll be talking about these two boys for a long time. The Offaly selectors, despondent. Babs, Keating there beside the chairman of the Offaly County Board on the right. But no doubt about it, Offaly will respond to this defeat in the wonderful sporting way that they always do. They're still in the All-Ireland Championship, remember.